On the outside, the young Kenyan doing a jig of delight. The Commonwealth champion, the African champion, Ferdinand Omanyala, came through as a non-automatic qualifier. He needs to conquer his nerves. He'll be on the outside in lane 9. Ford will be on the other side of the track in 2. Omanyala's not the only African in this race. What a star this young Botswana's turning out to be. Double world junior champion and the African record holder over 200 metres with 19.5. Liles Tobogo. Could he become Africa's first male global champion over 100 metres? Making it through to a global final for the 3rd time, Abdul Hakim Sani Brown. He is a brilliant starter, and if he gets away and others get nervous, he could be in the shake-up. He'll be inside Omanyala in 8. The former champion, 2nd in the US Championships. We know he starts well, but is he as good as he used to be? And if he is, it will be an incredible way to reclaim a crown he last won 4 years ago. Christian Coleman. 9.86 this year for Jamaica. He just missed a medal last year, but Oblique Seville has been blistering here. 9.86 in the heats, 9.90 in the semi-finals. The 2nd of the 2 Jamaicans. No British runner has won a medal in this event since Darren Campbell's bronze in Paris 20 years ago. Zarnell Hughes isn't interested in bronze, though. He wants to replicate Linford Christie's gold for Britain from 30 years ago in Stuttgart, the man whose national record he took in style. This guy could be the favourite. He is the rock star of our sport. He had COVID at the US Championships. He got the worst start of everyone, and he crawled into the team. These are the nights on which he loves to thrive. He's imposing his personality on the field. He's imposing his personality on our sport. But now, he has to back up the talk with action. For Jamaica in 2. Tobogo, Botswana 3. Coleman, USA 4. Hughes, Great Britain 5. Liles, USA 6. Seville, Jamaica 7. Sani Brown, Japan in 8. Omanyala, Kenya in 9. Occasionally in life, there comes a moment in sport so utterly captivating and uncertain, it stops the world in its tracks. This is one such moment. This, without doubt, is one of the most open races we've ever had for this coveted title. 8 athletes are about to pour heart and soul into a 10-second bid for global glory. This is the men's 100-metre World Championship final.
Set.
It's a clean start and what a race. A huge roar from the expectant crowd. Great start from Coleman, we expect that. Can Liles come through? He's very, very tight. It's Noah Liles. The champion roars once more. Tobogo ran really well on the far side, but it's Noah Liles who has delivered on his promise. A great, great run from Coleman, but he's not quite the man he used to be. Noah Liles promised us gold, and he's delivered. He has roared with the heart of the greatest. It's one thing talking about being brilliant, it's another to deliver. And he's done it in style. That was sensational. He's fast becoming one of our sport's all-time greats. Liles, the 200-metre specialist, is the 100-metre champion here in Hungary.
What you saw the past greats on those big screens as those athletes walked onto the starting line, and you had to think to yourself, what does it take to become one of those legends? Carl Lewis, Maurice Green, certainly Usain Bolt, Kim Collins. You got to have belief and you have to have focus. And that man had them both right there. Not sure anybody in the field has as much belief as Noah Liles. He didn't get the best start. That certainly wasn't the start that he got in the semifinals, but he just kept grinding. Zarnell Hughes was coming.
Brilliant run from Zarnell Hughes. He's overcome with emotion. He replicates Darren Campbell's bronze from 20 years ago, and he's done that in fine style. And what about Tobago taking silver for the African continent and Botswana? And you know what? That race was close. Liles wasn't absolutely certain he'd done it as he crossed the line. He looked over and he waited for confirmation on the big screen before commencing his celebrations. This kid is very, very special, this young Botswanan. 9.88. That is a phenomenal run for the silver. But what about that from Noah Liles? You can talk about being great, but in so doing, you put yourself under an insane amount of additional pressure. Curley fell at the semis. Jacobs fell at the semis. But Liles has done what he said he would do and stormed to the gold.
Well, he said he was going to come away with from these World Championships with 3 gold medals. Well, this was going to be, in my opinion, the hardest one for him to get. Now he looks forward to the relay, and his specialty, of course, the 200 meters. He just needs to keep focus, and he could actually come away with those 3.
Okay, judging by the confidence that he'll take from this, is the world record on. 200 is his better event, which is ludicrous because we've just watched him hold his nerve under the most intense pressure as we salute Tobago, and the crowd are getting involved with saluting the young Botswanan. Is the world record on now?
I think after this, you can't doubt him. And here you see Noah Liles. It wasn't his best start, but what did I say? He has to stay in contact. He stayed in contact with the leaders. He goes by Seville. He looks to his left, and Coleman is not there. It's Zarnell Hughes. But Noah Liles just tougher, more focused. Execution was just a little bit sharper in those last 30 meters.
What's very impressive about him, Dan, he's obviously got a decent-sized ego, otherwise he wouldn't say that stuff, but he also understands that we need to collectively, each in our own way, those of us who are here in this stadium, those of us who love this sport, we need to sell track and field, we need to sell athletics, and he perhaps is the best vehicle that we've got at the moment because he's talking big and he's delivering big.
How do you get people to watch him? Tell him you're going to win 3 gold medals, and whether he does it or not, people are going to certainly tune in. But now Noah Liles is, in my opinion, has taken down the toughest of the goals that he set for himself here at these championships.
I agree. I think he's the clear favourite for the 200 now, despite the fact that Erien Knighton has run so many good times as a junior. Hughes roared because he knew in that moment that he'd got himself a medal. I told you, he did, and he delivered.
Well, and what's interesting, Rob, is a lot of people would say, hey, you're the world champion in the 200 meters, you're the American record holder. Why do you want to go to another event? But this is the strength and of Noah Liles to go out there and do what people said he could not do. And there you see just how grateful Zarnell Hughes is with that bronze medal.
And that is the image that will be, I'm very much hoping, will be on the back pages of all the newspapers in the United States. This is from the drone. We've got all sorts of gizmos and gadgets at this year's World Athletics Championship. So many people working hard behind the scenes to try and plan the best coverage to ensure the greats are covered in all their glory. Noah Liles, with the joint fastest time in the world this year, delivers on the first act of 3. The 200-meter specialist is the world champion over the 100. Tobago with a sensational run for Africa and Botswana with the silver. Zarnell Hughes takes the bronze, the first Briton to be on the podium in this event for 20 years. And he can now look forward to try and do a do a Joshua Cheptegei and go 3 in a row with his favourite event, the 200.
Well, we also begin to think a little bit forward to the 4x100 meters and think about that squad: Christian Coleman, Fred Curley, and Noah Liles. You know, and I think the Jamaicans are going to have a really good squad as well, with Rohan Watson, Raheem Ford, and Oblique Seville. That's just good things for the future of sprinting in Jamaica.
Yes, because I think it's been tough for the youngsters trying to come through and follow in the footsteps of Usain Bolt. Not that you can. And, you know, comparisons with Bolt are unfair. Bolt delivered incredibly for athletics and will continue to do so. He's an iconic figure alongside the likes of Pele and Ali. He's not quite there yet, Noah Liles, but he is a figure of growing global importance for our sport. He is huge for athletics at the moment, and he's just reaching his peak at 26.
Well, he is just such a student of sprinting, and he's gotten into the science of it over the last couple of seasons. He and his coaches and his team are just coming up with all kinds of new ways to analyze his sprinting and just get better. And one thing, if you want to be a championship in a champion of the world and be a star, you've got to deliver. Michael Johnson was one of those guys who stepped on the track and delivered. Usain Bolt was one of those guys who stepped on the track and delivered. And now here, Noah Liles is delivering every time out.
Curley will be absolutely smarting, and he didn't make the 200-metre team. He was edged out by your pocket rocket. Is it Courtney Lindsay, who was third in the national champs, the youngster? So he will be going for glory on the relay. 1 down, 2 to go.